Hey y'all. Just a quick little disclaimer. So this video was actually filmed like maybe 2 weeks ago now. I totally forgot to upload it. It's just been kind of hanging there. Like I say in the video, it's been very busy these days. I'm trying to get back into kind of a groove and get a real schedule going as far as filming and uploading. But right now, everything's just kind of all over the place, just getting readjusted to work and everything. So the timeline of this video sounds a little off. It's because I actually recorded it like 2 weeks ago and I'm just late uploading it. So a lot of things have kind of changed just in those 2 weeks as far as what's open and what's not. Like our my state is pretty much open back up. We're going in phases, but everything's pretty much open just to a limited capacity right now. But I still wanted to post this video. I guess more for the people in long distance relationships like myself who could still benefit from this kind of thing. That's all. Enjoy the video. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I posted. There's been a lot going on. I'm recently back to work and, in the midst of all this quarantine madness, there's been a lot going on. So, and I've had to kind of prioritize other things, but I do still want to keep making videos just because why not? Like, this is entertainment for myself just as much as it is for whoever chooses to watch. So here I am. So yeah, I mean, work life's been kind of crazy. I'm only working part-time right now. Gyms are still closed in my area, so I'm not able to teach yet still. So I'm still doing like the virtual classes, like from my bedroom. I got my natural hair going because salons aren't open either. And girl, those braids were done. So it was a struggle, but we're making it work. I'm doing good. Even with all the crazy things going on, I can't complain. Work's been great. Home's been great. I'm about to hop back into another month of Whole30. Jep wanted to get in on it and give it a try for himself, and I'm going to do that with him for support, but also because I have been eating like trash since the lockdown started, and it's starting to show. I'm starting to feel it. My face is broken out. I've surely gained at least 2 or 3 pounds. It'll be fun. It's something we need a reset. So now's as good a time as any now that things are kind of starting to open back up. I am filming this on Memorial Day. I'm off work, I had time. So the whole point of this video, I just kind of have been thinking about it, and I talked about it with Jep, and I was like, I wonder if this might be a fun video because I've seen people talking about this kind of thing. Just being in quarantine right now, not everyone is still in quarantine, but there are situations where people aren't really able to see each other very much. Like, things are still going on, even though they're unlocking things or reopening certain things, and the world is slowly but surely trying to get back to some form of normal right now. Things that we usually would do, we still really aren't able to do. Restaurants are closed. Places of worship in a lot of places are still closed. I know like beaches are opening back up, but like, concerts aren't a thing. The type of things that you would do for like a date typically are not a thing. And even the things you can do in person right now, for someone like me who's in a serious long distance relationship, are not an option. And so I have been thinking, what are some of the things that people can do to make their relationships, keep them exciting and keep from feeling hopeless and like there's no fun left and like there's no way to really keep your relationship strong and healthy in the situation that we're in. And so I just kind of started thinking, and I was talking to my boyfriend and just kind of reflecting on the kinds of things we've been doing as a couple who is long distance. I live in Minnesota and he lives in Florida, and we haven't seen each other since like late February, early March was the last time we saw each other. I think by the time I got back home, maybe 2 or 3 weeks had passed, and we were on lockdown. So that was the last time I saw him. I was actually supposed to see him this week, but we ended up pushing back our trip. It's supposed to be, our anniversary is actually day before yesterday. We are 2 years strong. But yeah, so we had to push it back just because, we're both kind of back to work now, and to make sure that we were able to stay on track with work and with life getting back to normal, we decided to kind of sacrifice our anniversary trip and just push it back to this time next month. So we're about a month out from that. But in the meantime, he's still staying and I'm still staying in, because let's be real, this virus didn't go anywhere. We're just opening things up for the sake of the economy, but the risk is still there. And so I know that for a lot of people, just because they're lifting restrictions on a lot of things, we're still kind of in that mindset of being on lockdown, you know? And so I've seen a lot of people ask this or search this even online, like Pinterest and stuff, but what are some really fun, like virtual date ideas? I feel like a lot of people who have never tried it might think it's a little weird, might think it's a little like, you know, it's not a real date, but there are ways to make it a lot of fun. So this video, I just kind of wanted to go into a few fun ways to make virtual dating exciting. And these are all things that I've either seen done or I've tried myself with Jeb, as we are obviously in a long distance relationship. And so virtual dating these last couple months has really been something that has kept us going and kept our spirits up with everything going on. Like, this is what has kind of put me back on track mentally in the midst of all this craziness. Let's get into it. Okay, so number one of the things that I think is a lot of fun, I'm a dreamer, I daydream constantly, and I think this is one that is really fun. Plan things to do when you get together. This, again, is a virtual call type thing. Like, we use Snapchat. Snapchat's video call option, that's what we use when we do our little virtual dates. But yeah, this one I feel like will be really fun. It's something that we do often. We don't really always make a date of it. It's usually just random conversation, but like totally make a date of it. We, you know, whether it's talking about, you know, the home buying stuff, because we're in talks about getting a home, hopefully by the end of this year. He'll be able to move up here and we can get that whole thing going. Like, we'll literally be on like Zillow or whatever looking at homes in the area, and he'll send ideas to me and vice versa, and we'll talk about them. We talk about like decorating our house, what it would look like. I'll like go on Pinterest and find pictures of different decor ideas and send them to him, and then, you know, and vice versa. And we just talk and imagine. And same with vacations. We plan our vacations. We talk about where we want to go, different restaurants we want to try, and we literally plan things for when we are going to be together. And it just makes for a really fun conversation. It gets our spirits up because it gets us excited, makes us feel like we have something to look forward to, while encouraging conversation and communication between us. And that's super important. Something that's been kind of a staple with us, even before we were actually adding the element of video call. We did this kind of thing through, you know, via text message or snapping or whatever. But adding the element of a video call kind of makes it into a date, and it makes it lots and lots of fun. So that is one of my favorite suggestions. The second idea is an outdoor picnic. And this is a totally classic date idea, but we're adding the element of the whole social distancing or just long distance in general. We're adding that aspect. So basically, you're planning a picnic, but you're doing it virtually. So, you know, obviously grab your blanket, you know, and your wine or whatever you're gonna drink, and your food, put it in a cute little basket, set everything up, make it look really cute and romantic and fancy, and just do it on video call. Like, have a video call going the whole time and you guys just converse back and forth. You know, I'm sure people might think that it's like weird, especially if you're not leaving, like say you're in your backyard or whatever, but like you can still have fun with this. Like, the best part about these kinds of days for me is when we commit to it, like, you know. So we did something very similar to this for our anniversary, which was day before yesterday. It was Saturday, May 23rd. Was our 2-year anniversary, and we were super bummed because last year we were able to travel to St. Augustine together to celebrate our 1 year, and obviously the year before that we were together when we made it official. So this is the first time in 2 years that we haven't been together on this date for our anniversary, basically. So it's kind of a bummer. It was really like depressing, but we were like, nope, we're not gonna let the Rona ruin this moment for us. We're gonna have a good time regardless of our situation. We will still see each other. We'll just try to make it fun, even though we can't be together physically. Like, so we still committed to it. Like, I went out, I got my wine, like we decided to have the same meal. I spent all day too. Like, I put out my my backdrop stand and I put like a background on there with all these fairy lights, and like I put pictures of us all over it. I put a little I had a little table next to it with a shrine that had like our photos and stuff like that, and a book he gave me last year for our 1 year. And I set a blanket on the floor, and I set my food out and my wine out, and we like had an indoor picnic. and we sat down, we ate, we watched a movie, we talked, and we each sent each other a gift, actually. We had other gifts, but we're gonna wait and do those in person next month, but I sent him a gift to have there on the day, and then he sent me one to have there on the day. And so we both held onto them, and then on Saturday, like before we ate and everything, like we sat down, we opened our gifts and everything. It was super cute, and we committed to it. Like I got dressed up, he got dressed up, I did my makeup, washed my hair, did my hair all cute. Like we committed to it, and that's what made it the most fun. Like he went and got an outfit, like I did like full face, which I haven't done in, Jesus, I don't even know. Like I don't remember the last time I did a full face of makeup, honestly. Like it's eyeliner and lipstick for me most of the days because where am I going? But I committed to it, so, and that made it so much more fun. Like you have to commit to it, and that's what we did. Like so, and the date was amazing. We spent the whole night, like we exchanged our gifts first, we talked, we laughed, we set our gifts up or whatever, and you know, and then we ate, we had our wine, we watched a movie. It was awesome. Like it was probably one of our best dates. And I gave him like a little virtual tour of my room because I had everything set up really cute and romantic. I showed him everything, and he loved it, and vice versa. It was so much fun. So and obviously we weren't in the same room, it was virtual, but it was still such a good time, and I still felt really close to him, and we had great conversation the whole night. Like it was awesome, guys. Like it was awesome, but it would not have been nearly as awesome if we hadn't committed to it. So like, even as silly as it might sound to do all this just to stay in the house, commit to it. If you're gonna try this, you have to commit to it. Go all out, just like you would if you were leaving the house. And I promise you, like, it makes for such a fun experience. Like just try it if you haven't. I promise you will not regret it. So the third one, for all my fitness people out there, one that I think would be really awesome is a virtual fitness date. Like you guys work out together, basically. I personally, if you know me, you know I'm a dance fitness instructor. I do teach Zumba, and I have actually been teaching virtual classes online throughout this whole thing because obviously gyms are closed, and I love teaching. Like I live for it. So I've been teaching classes free of charge, just like for my regular students, whoever like wants to join. I'm just like, dude, like I'm here for it because I need dancing for my mental health. Like we usually do it on a Zoom call, so afterwards it's like me and all the girls from the gym, we're just like chopping it up for a few minutes. They have their kids in the it's really awesome. I think virtual workouts are one great thing that have come of this whole situation. At least we're going through this in a time where we have so much technology that we are able to stay in constant communication with people as long as we need to. We can do almost anything that we need to do virtually now, and that is amazing because there are a lot of people who rely on this kind of thing for their mental health, you know, going to the gym and exercising. So it's great that this kind of thing is available to us. So I figured, why not make that into a date? This is not something Jep and I have done yet, but it's definitely something that we plan on doing very soon. Hopefully, maybe even this week, who knows? But basically, get on video call, you know, coordinate a workout and do it together, do the same workout. Wherever you're at, if you have a home gym, go you. Can't relate, super jealous. But if you have a home gym, work out in your home gym, or just do things that you both can do where you both have access to whatever, you know, equipment that you need, or, you know, challenge yourselves. Go find a YouTube video. There's so many, I mean, Jesus, like I could do 5 different workouts every single day for the rest of my life just off what's on YouTube, and I would never have to do the same video twice. There's so many resources online. Try a challenge or something with your significant other and do it virtually, do it at the same time. And again, this is also something that drums up really great conversation. This is something that really can encourage great conversation and communication with your significant others. And you guys are able to push each other and motivate each other to work out. And, you know, and again, not everybody's into this kind of thing, but if you are someone like me or my boyfriend who really enjoy, you know, working out and actually do really well working out together, this would be a really fun idea. Again, I have not tried this one yet, but it is definitely on my list because we are trying to try different things and add new components to our dates. So this is definitely one that's on our list. So next, a virtual dinner date. Simple, plain, something that people do all the time. You know, dinner dates I feel like are like the basic like blueprint date. Whether you've been dating for, you know, a week or, you know, a year or however long, you can't go wrong with a dinner date. We have done this almost every weekend since all this started. We've done like just a dinner date. You can add to it and try to do the same dinner. We like to do that if we eat out. Even if it's fast food, like, what was it, a couple weeks ago, we were like, we both wanted Chick-fil-A, so we both went and got Chick-fil-A and we ate it together. There was one night that we did, it was after we had been doing our Saturday virtual dates consecutively for a month. We were like, let's make it a little fancy. So we dressed up, again, we committed, we dressed up, and we ate outside on our patios, and I think we both got the same food. I can't remember, but I remember I got pizza and wings and it was amazing. But yeah, like order the same food and do the same kind of thing. We both wanted to sit outside and watch the sunset, basically. So we both, you know, dressed up kind of cute. We both got the same food. We both sat outside on our patios. I set up my tripod on the table, and we just talked. Like, we talked the entire time. We ate dinner and we talked. It was great. And again, it might not seem that great because you're not going anywhere. It might not seem that exciting, but if you commit to it and you go all out just like you would if it was a regular dinner date, if you're going to your favorite restaurant, what would you do? You know, it was fun to me and we had great conversation. We just talked about everything. And I just think that's really important right now, to stay in communication with each other and to make sure that you both know where you're at emotionally, especially right now, just because the situation has put a lot of people through it emotionally, you know, and it's important to be able to get those feelings out and to be able to talk to people about how you feel when, you know, mentally in situations like this, because it's not something any of us have ever been through. It can be tough for people. Who better to share those feelings with? If you're not going to share those feelings with anyone else, your significant other is the person who should know how you're feeling at all times. And I feel like this kind of situation, these kinds of dates, totally open up that for conversation. So yeah, a dinner date. We love it. We do it all the time. It's super universal. Like, this is one you could do with your friends, you know, or if you have siblings or family members out of town, like, have a girls' night, you know, dinner date. Everybody grab dinner, grab some wine, and, you know, start up the Google Hangout or the Zoom meeting or whatever. And like, it makes for a great night no matter who you're like. This one is so universal. And I'm sure anybody who's done a virtual date at this point has probably already done some version of a dinner date. Like, why not? So this one is definitely a favorite, and it's definitely one we've done very, very often since all this started. Number 5, which is one of my favorites because I love doing this, is to watch a movie or binge watch a series together. Now this is something that Jep and I have actually been doing for a really long time, like from pretty much from the beginning of our relationship. But we did it differently. Like, we would watch the same thing through text message too. Like, I'd be texting him, he'd be texting me, I'd be like, what do you want to watch? We decide what we want to watch. And I'd be like, all right, are you starting? He'll say yes. And I'm like, all right, me too. So we both started, and we'd just be texting back and forth, responding, you know, like we're in person, just reacting to whatever's going on TV. We've done that since day one. I'm surprised there's still options on Netflix, because I feel like we've watched everything because we've been doing this for so long. But yeah, we've been doing it for forever, and it's one of my favorite things. And now, since we've recently, I remember one time we were on a video call and we were watching something, and I was like, why didn't we think to do this on video from beginning? Because like, there'd be times where we'd be texting each other and I'd be like, wait, what part are you on? Because he's responding to something that I haven't seen yet, or vice versa, because I'm further ahead or whatever. Like, it's a lot easier to stay on the same page when you add the aspect of a video call. And it might seem weird because it's like, okay, you're watching something, so you're both staring at the screen. But no, like, the whole point of this, for me at least, is to communicate. Like, I love talking through movies. Like, if it's and obviously there are times where we're like focusing and paying attention if it's something we've never seen or whatever, but most of the time we're kind of conversing back and forth and responding to what we're watching, and it makes for good conversation. It's so much fun, and everybody loves binge watching a series or whatever, or just having a series that you and somebody else both watch so you can talk about it or whatever. So like, making a date out of it is so much fun. I like watching a broad variety of different genres because it drums up different conversation. We watched When They See Us last year. Really, really emotional, really hard to get through. Obviously, anybody who's seen When They See Us, which at this point I feel like everyone's seen it, but watching that series was really, really tough. But it drummed up some really good conversation, deep conversation, and that's important in a relationship, you know. So I loved that for that reason. We were able to have really deep conversation. I remember we watched Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is like kind of a stupid show, but we loved it because it was goofy and we laughed about it, and it started up some really silly conversations. Recently we started watching Insecure, which has been my favorite show since it first started, but he hadn't watched it yet. So I was like, dude, like Insecure just came back, let's watch it. So we've been watching it from season 1. We're like a few episodes into season 3 now. We binge watched it over the course of like 3 days. And we're already almost like caught up. That's one of those shows that's very real and relatable because, you know, there's people who are our age going through things that we've all went through. And so it's that opens up that kind of conversation for him, you know. So we've had great conversation based off of the stuff we've been watching, you know, and a lot of it's purely entertainment most of the time, but organically we end up in great conversation. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing this and making this into a date. Like most people probably would think that there's no point in being on a call while you're watching something, but if you use it as a conversation starter, then it does make for a good date. And we always grab some wine and, you know, maybe some food or whatever, and we snack and talk and whatever while we're watching, and it's so much fun. Like that's my favorite out of everything on this list. That is my favorite type of date that we have done and that we do often. So yeah, give that a try for sure. And the final one. Okay, so this one is one of my favorites as well. This one probably comes in a close second, right next to binge watching and watching movies. Question games. So this is not something that we have done virtually yet, but it's definitely part of the plan. But our last trip, the one that I took right before the shutdown and all that started, we had bought 2 games. One was Table Topics for couples, and one was so many questions, but we finished them before. I think we finished them maybe 2 or 3 days before I even left. We finished them because we spent every single night that I was there with these questions. We went out on dates and I would have a handful of questions in my purse, and after our dates or even during our dates while we were eating or whatever, we would go through and we would ask each other each question. And some of them were questions we already knew because we've been together for a really long time, you know, and we just know each other so well because we communicate so well. But it was still fun to talk about these things. There were certain questions where we were like, okay, we haven't been together quite long enough, or we're not married yet, and this is a question that would make more sense if we were married. So we'll parking lot that one and we'll ask that, you know, like that's one to think about for later on down the line. That's one to think about next year. That's one to think about once we get married, you know? So like, but most of them were questions we were able to, you know, to talk about right then and there. And we learned so much about each other, which is crazy because we communicate constantly. We talk about everything. Like, just when you think you really know someone, it's games like this that make you think like, oh, like there's a lot of things about people that you don't know, that you don't even realize you don't know. It just really gives you the opportunity to get to know people on a whole other level. And a lot of these brands of these games like Table Topics, they have editions for families, they have editions for couples, they have editions for friends, they even have one for strangers, they have a travel edition. So there are so many different ones. So this is not even something that's just exclusively for people in relationships. Like, I encourage anyone to look them up. They're like $25 on Amazon. Same with the other one, but it's awesome. It was the most fun I've had. And some of the questions were very vulnerable, very intimate. Like, I mean, there were tears. Like these questions get deep, but like in a good way, like, you know. And the most important component of all of these dates, the whole point, because I know it might feel like, okay, there's only so much you can do when you're virtually, like these all kind of, you know, melt into one another. But the whole point is communication. The major component that is consistent within all of these little date ideas is communication. These are all ideas that are basically there to evoke conversation between the person that you're with. Like, this is the whole point of this is so that you guys can talk and get to know each other. So that's what all these are for me personally. It's like everything that I've listed, these are all things that can get the conversation going, and that's so important right now. Like, it's so important right now. It's honestly been a lifesaver for me to have somebody to talk to every single day. And it's my best friend. You know, we tell each other everything. We were already super close from beginning anyways, but now with everything going on, just doing these kind of things has really given me so much peace of mind, and I feel so much happier. I feel so much more confident, like, just because I know that, like, no matter what's going on, I have my best friend, and I know that, you know, I might be feeling lonely today or might be feeling whatever, but I know tonight, you know, at 9 p.m. we're gonna get on our call, and that's something we've kind of dedicated ourselves to doing every single night now. It's not just you know, okay, we're gonna plan a date for this one day. Like, not every call we do is really a date anymore, because we've kind of made it into like, okay, this is what we're doing every single night. We are gonna get on a call, whether it's for an hour to just watch a show, or, you know, or 10 minutes to say a prayer and say I love you and say goodnight. Every single night I know I'm gonna see your face and we're gonna talk, and if I feel like I need to talk to you about anything, if I'm feeling any kind of way and I need to communicate with someone about it, I know that you're that person that's gonna be there. These fun dates have really opened that up and really brought our relationship to a whole new level. And I feel like these are really important for people who can't be together right now, or people who are like us and who have been in long distance relationships, or just now getting in one and don't know how exactly you're gonna do this and how you're gonna keep it fresh and keep it exciting and keep the communication going. Like, it's possible, I promise. Like I said, we've been together for 2 years. We have been long distance for 2 years. And right now, today, I know him better than I know anyone. He probably knows me better than he knows anyone. Probably more better than he thinks he does, you know, like, and we're happier and we're in love and we're stronger and just more on the same page than we ever have been before. And, you know, we only see each other every few months right now. And this kind of thing has totally helped us. So I really wanted to just make this video to give people some ideas, because I feel like right now a lot of people are feeling hopeless, and we don't have to feel that way. It is possible to keep your relationships strong and to keep things fun. You just gotta use your imagination, and you gotta commit to these kind of things. Like, if it's, you know, for me, getting up and getting dressed and putting my makeup on and going about my day as if it's a regular day helps me to not feel like I'm stuck in a box, you know what I mean? So, and this kind of thing, it falls right into that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I just really wanted to share these ideas with you because I have been talking about it with Jeb, and we both have so much love for this whole virtual dating situation. It's made our relationship so much more fun, and it's made us feel just a little bit more like we're not thousands of miles away from each other. Just because we get to see each other every day and we get to talk to each other in real time and do the things we enjoy together, you know? I really hope that some of these ideas are beneficial to somebody, whether it's because, you know, your boyfriend lives on the other side of the state, or your boyfriend lives on the other side of the country, or in a whole different country entirely, or they're away and they can't get away from wherever they're at because they're on lockdown, or whatever the case may be. I hope this video gives you some fun ideas for how to keep your relationship going in a positive direction right now, with all the negativity and all the scariness in the world. If anybody gives any of these a try, if anybody has other ideas that they've tried that I didn't mention, like, let me know in the comments for sure. We're willing to try anything. We're totally, like, right now we're in this phase where it's like, okay, we've been doing this for months. Now let's try to switch it up and see like how many different fun ideas we can make out of this whole virtual dating thing. And we plan to, when I get there at the end of next month, we plan to try some staying in dates, because obviously things by then will probably be opened back up completely, if not, you know, getting there still. But again, the virus hasn't gone anywhere, and we all know that. So what we plan on when I get there, we plan on still, for the most part, staying in. But we're gonna keep it interesting. It'll be fun to finally be able to stay in together. So we are excited to try a lot of different unique at-home dates when I get there. And we'll probably document that for the YouTube, just to kind of show people the kind of things we've been doing and give people ideas for those of us who are still locked down by then, if any of us. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that these ideas give somebody some joy, and Like I said, comment below and let me know any ideas you might have that I didn't mention here, because I would gladly try any other ideas that I haven't thought of already. Like and subscribe, and hit the bell so that you know when I post again if you don't want to miss a video. My video is very sporadic right now. Like I said, there's a lot going on in life that I've had to kind of prioritize over filming right now, so I'm not very consistent, but I plan to get there. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.